Hi, welcome to grade 11 class today. Today we'll be looking at cyclic quadrilaterals, which is in your textbook, chapter number 21. Why did I choose this topic was like we have seen the triangles and equiangular triangles we have seen. So connected to that, I thought, okay, today we will go into this topic. But before going into these cyclic quadrilaterals here on chapter 21, we will be going through the grade 10 topic, chapter 27, chords of circle today. So once this is done, we will be moving to the grade 11 topic.
Class number is number 1. Overall class number, we are in number 7. Right. So we'll see first what is this circle is about. So, right, okay, there are a lot of definitions, a lot of things involved with a circle. If you go into a real life, also there are things that will be used related to circles, and a lot of theorems which will be useful in day-to-day life. Applications also we have seen, but though we may not be seeing those applications here, we will be just going through them now. So once we get familiar with these things, and then we will of course see what applications can be. Right? So when we talk about a circle, always we talk about a center, right? We always name it as, most of the time, O, right? So the center. So the circle means, a circle is the locus of a point which moves such that its distance from a fixed point is always constant. So a few words, maybe you might have studied this. I just remind you a few words that may be useful for you. A locus point which moves such that its distance from a fixed point is always constant. Constant means, we have seen, not changing. We have seen constant in many places. Constant is an important person. Like when you learn about the infinity, the proportions, there is something like, if you are doing your, even in O levels is there, if you are going into A levels, even in chemistry, physics, this constant guy comes and plays an important role. So constant is, we call it, it's not a changing, it's something fixed, not changing, right? Circle, locus point means a point just go around, right, which moves such that its distance from a fixed point is always constant. From a fixed point is always a constant. So this is something like just a theorem. When we talk about this, maybe a little bit confusing, but when you see that it is there, yes, this is what we are talking about. From a center, a constant distance, that is we call as radius, correct? So it always moves like this around and makes a circle. This we call, right? This is the radius we are calling, that is the point, that is a constant distance, the fixed distance which is not changing, that we call as the radius. So a line segment joining the circle of a center of circle to a point on the circle is called the radius of the circle, which is not changing to one circle, right? Right. So we call on most of the time R, right? And this we say outer, like something that we have, we call it circumference, or we can say the perimeter of the length of the boundary of the circle is called circumference. Perimeter means, perimeter means it's the circumference, in another word, or it's the distance from one point and go around, come back and join the other point, same point. That's the circumference. Or perimeter means the length around that, right? A boundary, circumference, right? And then we have someone called a guy, this is the person like we have introduced last time in green, right? This is called chord, C-H-O-R-D, chord. A line segment joining any 2 points on the circle is called a chord. Of course, here I have put circle, it's wrong. Here, right, called the circle, chord of the circle, right? So here they are saying, the story is like this. They're saying any 2 points on circumference. We have joined these 2 points here, and these 2 points is a straight line. This is a chord. We can draw plenty of infinitive number of chords on a circle. Infinitive number means endless number of chords you can draw. So, right, so that's a chord is we have introduced. And then we see this guy, the chord which goes through the center of the circle is called diameter. A chord passing through the center of the circle is called the diameter of the circle, right? So you know the relationship between the diameter and the radius. Diameter is 2 times of the radius, right? Because here stops radius 2 times of the radius diameter is. And also perimeter or the circumference is 2 pi r. 2 pi r is the perimeter of the circle, right? Now we have something called this guy, we call it tangent, which is touching any one point only on the circumference of the circle and goes, this we call tangent to a circle. A line that touches a circle at only one point is called the tangent of the circle, right? So these are the few the important things that I thought would be useful to you. When you come to a circle, you should know all these things, right? And if you know all these things only, it will be easy to go to our topic, right? Right, chords of a circle, right? Okay, so these are the things that in summary, if you see what we have learned, this is chord, circumference, radius, center, diameter, we have gone through, right? Theorem says, the theorem, I know most of the time the students do not like these theorems. What to do? We have to live with that, right? Most of the time theorems we don't like, but we have to live with the theorem, right? Sometimes we talk about unwritten rules or theorems in life. So those theorems you cannot do away, you cannot keep away and live. In life you have to do with this. So theorem is like that. So, right. The straight line joining the center of the circle to the midpoint of the chord is perpendicular to the chord. This is something that you have learned. The straight line that we are talking about, this guy, the straight line joining the center of the circle, to the midpoint of the chord is perpendicular to the chord. Perpendicular means, it's 90 degrees. Here it's 90 degrees, so it will be 90 degrees. That's what they are saying. And also they are saying center, that means this AC and CB are also equal, right? So chord is AB here, AC equals CB is there, OCB is 90 degrees. So I have not put degrees there, 90 degrees, right? Right, we'll go to a few examples like, okay, maybe you have done these things, but you may have forgotten. I'm just brushing up your knowledge, right? So you need to find X here, right? By seeing just, I can tell, right? Just like this, right? X is the one we want to find, and this is the chord we talk about, and this is the straight line we talk about, OZ. XY is our chord, which now if you draw a line to the center of the chord, it's told to be perpendicular. So this is X plus this 90 plus 30 is going to be 180. The triangle interior angles will add up to 180. So answer we got, so X equals to 60, correct? 90 plus 30 is 120 equals 180 means X equals 60. So right, you found out X here. We'll go to the question number 2, next example. All right, I hope you might have done these questions last time when you were in grade 10. Can you please try this question and get me the answer? Please message me here. What's the answer for X? With that, right, this one I found the answer, I will just go ahead. Right, so we have seen that, right, why I have put this 55. Now this is the idea here, like if you want to find X here, one thing is for sure, like you are going to use this triangle, right? This triangle where we have not named here this part. Require ST, I'll just name this place as T, right? Okay, X equals 20. Yes, most of the students are giving an answer as X equals 20, right? So T, this angle P, at angle POT, you need to know this angle, then you will be able to get X, otherwise there is no other way. So to use that only, I thought, okay, 55, this angle plus 90 is which angle, right? This one, 90, this one only I have taken, yes, 90 here, this one as 90, right? Plus Y, I have taken this one, right? So taking that only, I found Y there, right? So Y is going to be 35, right? This angle is going to be 35, and X plus Y is going to be 55, right? X plus Y is going to be 55. Why is that? Reason for X plus Y being 55. Anyone can tell Y is going to be X plus Y is 55. This is Y, okay? This is Y. X plus Y, I'm saying 55. Why is that? Why is that X plus 5 is 55? Why is that X plus 5 is 55? Isosceles triangle, yes. Isosceles triangle, isosceles angles from theorem, yes. How it is isosceles triangle? If someone asks me, The reason is this one. OP and OS are what we call it the radius. The radius is going to be a constant. It's not changing in a circle, any place. The radius center to the circumference. Fixed point to the circumference length is radius. So this length and this length are equal. So it's an isosceles triangle. POS is an isosceles triangle. So I'm going to tell that this x plus y is going to be 55. We have found to be y to be 35, so x is going to be 20. Do you have any problem in this? Please message me if you have any problem in this. Otherwise, I'll go to the next question. Right? So, okay. So x is going to be 20, right? So I did not explain how substitutions, all these things, right? Question number 3. We'll go to the question number 3 here. Right. Here we need to find out x here. Can try. Right. Please try and find x in this case. I'll give you around 1 minute time. Right. So what happens here, we can use the information about why I have taken this is information about a quadrilateral here, right? We can use that information, but when we are using that information, we will be using the chord here and the center to the chord which bisects the line, bisects the chord, will be at perpendicular. Yes, right? I can get, yes, a lot of people have come with answers, right? So it says this is the chord QR and the chord PQ, right? From the center you draw a line to this chord which bisects the line. Is going to be 90 degrees. That's the theorem says, right? So these two are 90. Since they have given these two are equal, if they have not given these two are equal, then, or they are not 90, then you cannot take these things. This is not equal. Px and xq are not equal means we cannot take 90 degrees. Okay, remember that. So, but now we have given that it is equal, so I can take this to be 90, right? It's very simple. Then 4 angles, 3 known, and one equation, we can find x here, right? So x equals 240. Someone says is wrong. It's not correct. Check my answer now. You can find out how it's going to be. Right, now I'll repeat again, maybe someone is got. So this is 90 and this is 90, right? This is 60. So this you add all these things, it will add up to 360 because it's a quadrilateral, right? Right, x equals to 120. If you have got some doubt on these solutions, like I'll just tell 960 plus this one 180, 90 plus 90 is 180 plus 60 is 240. So 240 is there this side and 360. You take this 240 to the other side. So 360 minus 240 is going to be, right? So that means it's going to be 120, right? So that's the answer, right? Hope this is understood and I have explained enough on this. Right. If you have any questions still, you can message me saying you didn't understand. I can repeat. We'll go to the next question. Right. Head with the question says, PQ is a chord of a circle with center O. The midpoint of the chord is R. If PQ equals 12 centimeter and OR is 8 centimeter, find the radius of the circle. The radius of the circle is a question here, right? PQ is a code. As I say, like a lot of time I can see the students are not reading the questions properly. You have to understand each and every word of this question. If you don't understand the words in a question, you have to ask, you have to find out now itself. When you go to exams, no one will help you understanding the question. But when you're in a class, yes, this is the opportunity for you to ask the question, right? PQ is a chord of a circle with center O, right? Center O. The midpoint of the chord is R. The midpoint they are saying 4, right? If PQ equals 12 centimeter, PQ is 12 centimeter and OR is 8 centimeter, find the radius of the circle, right? Can you find the radius of the circle? Mostly like answers are almost written. Okay, try to find the radius of the circle and let me know what the radius is going to be, right? Yes, someone has got the answer in a jiffy, like no time, got the answer. Maybe I have got also the this one, the equation already written. Maybe using that you have done, or maybe you have done without using that too, right? Okay, we will see how we got this answer. All right, what's the reason is, now we have seen that this is OR is going to be perpendicular. Why perpendicular? Only reason to become perpendicular is, this is very important, the midpoint of the chord. Midpoint of the chord is R. That's the important word that we have here. So because that only becomes 90, otherwise it's not 90. You cannot use whatever we are using here, right? So PQ they gave to be 12 and QOR is 8, and so PR is going to be 6. So now we can find out OP or PO, that is the radius, right? So we can use whose theorem now here? Whose theorem we are using is Mr. Pythagoras, our friend. Pythagoras theorem says this one, the hypotenuse side of a right angle triangle, square of the hypotenuse side equals the other squares added. So OQ, the other two sides are this here, PR and OR. So squares are there, right? So I can get the answer as, right, OR is going to be 8 squared, PR is going to be 6 squared, so 36 and 64, 100. Right, PO is going to be 10. You got any doubts on this question? Please let me know. Right, maybe you have got the doubt here. 8 squared means 64. Yes, how you got 8 into 8 is 64, 636, right? Add 100. So it's going to be PO squared, right? So now we will be getting PO means, right? PO, I are going to get the answer as square root of 100. Square root of 100 means it's going to be 10. If I write like this, am I correct mathematically? PO I write like this. Am I correct? Mathematically, am I correct? Tell yes or no. This one we have learned, we have discussed, maybe in few of our classes we might have discussed, yes, as I remember. Right, this is as squared, right? I have shown it is to be written like that. PO squared, PO squared is 100, means PO is going to be this one, plus or minus 100, square root of 100. So this PO is going to be plus or minus, right? So PO minus will not be appropriate for us. So minus is not appropriate. Why minus is not appropriate? The length cannot be measured in minus numbers. So it's going to be plus 10 only. So when you write this one, when you think this way, it's the correct way to think. If you know only this one as plus 10, it's not correct, because maybe somewhere else you will get caught where it is where it really matters, right? Okay, hope there is no questions. Is there any question from anyone? Please let me know. Looks like there is no questions, right? Okay, next question, right? Okay, this is a long question. It looks like as written. AB and BC are two chords, right? AB and BC are two chords of a circle with center O, which are perpendicular to each other. AB and BC are perpendicular to each other, right? The midpoints of AB and BC are X and Y, right? Respectively, if AB equals 8 centimeter and BC equals 6 centimeter, find the perimeter of the quadrilateral, right? BX or Y. You need to find the perimeter, means the length around, right? Can you find out? Get the answer, please. Hope you will be getting the answer within no time. I know, most of you know the answer for this. Right, since the time is passing, maybe you are trying. This is not a difficult question, so that's what I don't want to waste much time on that. Right, done. Right, we will see how, if you have done also, okay, no problem. Maybe you have done. Right, ROQ, this guy is, they have 45, they have given ROQ, they have given to be 45. This guy here, you have to, angle OQR is 45. OQR is 45. Yes, correct. That's the reason, as you say. Therefore, there's such equal. That's correct. Yes, as you say. All right. Now we will see how it happens. Right. And just draw this line. So this is the line we are talking about. Right. This is the angle they gave to be. This is the angle they gave to be 45. This is 45 they gave. Okay. Right. Now we know that this is chord, means this OR is perpendicular. Why perpendicular? Because bisected, midpoint. So 90. So this is 45. So a triangle, you add all these three angles, add this, and this angle X is going to be 180. So 90 plus 45 plus X is going to be 180. So 90 plus 45 is 135 plus X equals 180. So X is going to be 180 minus 35 is going to be 45. If X equals 45, what? Now what? Yes. If X equals 45, now what? We say equal angles, right? We have one more guy. This is what we have. We are studying from small ages, right? This is a triangle, and we have two angles equal, means this and this angles are equal, means we call this X and this X same angle, or equal angles. We call it to be isosceles triangle. Two sides are equal. Two sides are equal means opposite angles are corresponding, opposite angles are equal. That's what we have learned. So equal angles, these two are equal, right? So PR, the RQ and OR are going to be equal. Correct? Hope there is no problem in this, right? Okay, RQO equals 45 is the important thing that we have found out. ROQ. I have a story about ROQ. ROQ means you will find in industries requests, right? Request to court. request of for a lot of time, you can see this ROQ, right? Okay, the triangle RQ is an isosceles triangle, so therefore RQ and OR are going to be equal, right? So right, let's go to the next. This the same theorem says. Theorem we have already learned the same theorem the opposite way. The perpendicular drawn from the center of the circle to a chord bisects the chord. Same story. The perpendicular drawn from the center of the circle drawn to the chord bisects the chord. This is what they say, right? It's nothing much. Same one. Only thing is that we call converse theorem. Right, now question. PQ is a chord of a circle with center O. The perpendicular drawn from O to PQ is OR. Right, this is the one. Perpendicular drawn is OR. If PQ equals 12, and OR equals 8, find the perimeter of the triangle. You need to find the perimeter of the triangle OPQ. OPQ. Right? Can you find the answer, please, fast? Now, the information that we are going to use are what? Information that we are going to use are what? Right? The important information is they have given PQ, and PQ is 12, PQ, this guy PQ to be 12 and OR to be 8, right? If you want to find the perimeter of the triangle, you need to find OQ, OP and PQ. We know PQ, this guy we know, PQ guy only we know, but we don't know OQ and OP. But we know that OP and OQ are radius is going to be equal. If you want to find out one guy, it's enough, right? One guy is, we will get the answer, right? This is R, this is R. So to find out that, they have given additional information to be this one to be 8, right? OR is to be 8, PQ is 12, so this guy RQ I can take to be 6. So we can use Mr. Pythagoras here again, correct? Pythagoras says R squared equals 8 squared plus 6 squared. So R we can find means we can find out the perimeter of this triangle. Okay, hope everyone understand what I say. Like, I will just show what we have done. PQ equals 12, OR equals 8. That is the data information they give. They give RQ is 6, half of 12 is 6. So Pythagoras theorem is applied here. OQ squared equals QR squared plus OR squared. So 6 plus 8 and 6 squared. We know that this is 6 and this is 8, right? So that's going to be 100. So as we say, OQ is going to be 10. OQ question means P also 10, 20 plus 12 is 32, correct answer. So that comes to an end of our class. Thanks for joining, and we will be joining on the next class as we have planned. It's going to be on, we will be there, like I will write down on the group. It's going to be Friday, I remember, morning. Right, I'll communicate through the group. Thanks and have a nice day.